The new seasonal exotics that we got with Season of the Witch are all absolutely incredible and super fun to use in their own ways. And this is no different with the Void Warlock's new exotic, Briarbinds, which allows your Void Souls to have a longer duration, get more damage the more enemies they kill, as well as durability. And it not only allows all that, but you can go and pick it up and then reshoot it, making this thing an absolute blast to use and allowing for you to have some pretty solid ability spam with the build. Wasting no time, hopping right into it, we're gonna go with the Nova Bomb Cataclysm, Healing Rift, Burst Glide, or whatever kind of glide or blink you want, Pocket Singularity, and then Vortex Grenades. Our aspects are going to be both Feed the Void and Child of the Old Gods, so we can get Devour, and then obviously the Child of the Old Gods for our exotic. Our fragments are going to be Echo of Undermining, Echo of Expulsion, Echo of Harvest, and then Echo of Persistence. Echo of Harvest is going to be an incredible one for this build because anytime we weaken a target, which is going to be all the time with our Child of the Old Gods, we're going to spawn an Orb of Power and a Void Breach. Now let's take a look at some stats that I think you should go for in this build, and those are going to be Resilience, obviously, and then we're going to go with Recovery for the Warlock's Rift to be regenerated faster, and then we're going to go with Discipline for grenades. We take a look at the artifact here. We have a couple that could benefit the Void subclass, and those being Elemental Orbs Void, which allows us to create a Void Orb that we throw and make enemies volatile with. And then you have things like Communal Pickups or Refreshing Pickups. And then in the final column, you can grab a lot of different things like Frenzied Stacks, Elemental Munitions, Elemental Embrace, Rapid Fire Ranger, or even Monochromatic Maestro. Once you unlock those, grab the one that suits your fancy the most. Now, for weapons, this is where things get a little bit interesting. In the kinetic slot, I've been enjoying hand cannons a ton, and spare rations with rapid hit kinetic tremors is actually a very solid choice. However, the kinetic doesn't matter as much. But in the energy slot, if you have pre-ordered the final shape, you get the Tessellation Fusion Rifle, which is absolutely incredible for this build. So when you're using Child of the Old Gods and you hit a target and they are being drained, you are actually getting grenade and melee energy on your subclass from the Child of the Old Gods, and that pairs into Tessellation, as Tessellation allows you to consume your grenade and overcharge a fusion rifle shot to do around 100,000 damage. So you are constantly getting your grenade, and then you can refuel this fusion rifle up and shoot 100,000 damage burst of fusion damage, and it matches your subclass, so it's going to be Void or whatever subclass you're on. And then in the heavy slot here, something Void is what I always say is a good choice here. Now for the armor mods here, we're going to be starting in the helmet with a Harmonic Siphon as well as a Dynamo for casting our Rift, since we're going to be doing that the most near enemies. And then if you have some room, you could put on either Kinetic Siphon, or you could put something like Radiant Light or Powerful Friends on. On the gauntlets here, we're going to go with regenerating our Rift as much as possible. So we're going to go with Bolstering Detonation as well as Focusing Strike. And then finally, we're going to go with Impact Induction. So anytime we cause damage with a melee attack, it's going to decrease our grenade cooldown. On our chest piece here, I like to run 3 resistance mods, but you could run a charged up and 2 as well. On the boots here, we're going to go with a Void Weapon Surge, a Innervation, and an Insulation. And then finally on our class item, Distribution and Reaper. Overall, this build is a ton of fun to use. This new fusion rifle from pre-ordering the final shape is an absolute blast to use. And then when you pair it with Briarbinds and you can just grab your Void Soul and throw it again, it makes this build so incredibly fun. And it's definitely one you should try and get your hands on when it's either the arms for Lost Sector, or you can do what I did and hit the Vex Strike Force public events on Neo Muna. If you enjoyed this build and video, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. And if you want some more of my content, be sure to head on over to TikTok for some short form content. We're getting real close to 30K over there. And if you want to check out some of my live streams, I just switched over to Kick, so be sure to go drop a follow over there. Both will be linked in the description below. Hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.